Me and Drizzy back to back, it's getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some bins all on your head like Justin Terry. Whoa.
Let's get it, let's get it.
Yes,
What's up, y'all? What's up, man? Faison View Podcast, man. Episode 265, man. We getting close to that 300 mark. Please like, share, and subscribe. You guys are doing an amazing job. Subscribers going up, man. Content going up. Hey, we continue to strive for greatness, man. We are Game Shift, man. What's up, Hugh?
What's up, man? We trying to make some moves. Game's still in production. That's all I can say.
Hey, you'll see when it's finished. You'll see. Alright, man, like we said, Faison View Podcast, make sure you tap in. And also, man, Color Power, make sure you tap into that as well, alright? So let's get into it today, brother. I Am Legend, man. We got a good agenda today, alright? I Am Legend 2 set the film with Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan, man. We're going to talk about what's your favorite movie sequel, to be exact. Question of the day, is education a right or a privilege? Let's break it down. HBCUs across the country receive more than $2.7 billion in funding of recent, man. So that's definitely congratulations and a definitely good feat. All right, one gotta go, man. Like Mike, Spy Kids, DrumLine, or Big Mama House. One gotta go. We're gonna see which one you guys choose. And lastly, the infamous, would you rather lose an hour or gain an hour? All right. You know, daylight savings is coming back up. Would you rather lose an hour or gain an hour, alright? So, man, let's get into the agenda. I Am Legend, man. One of my favorite movies, one of my favorite films. I always talk about it, and I talk about how it relates to current day with the virus, with everything that's going on. Man, set the film, man, with Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan, man. What's your expectations of this?
Well, first I was confused, because I was like, didn't he die at the end? But then you remembered, you told me there was an alternate ending. The alternate ending was actually kind of fire,
bro.
But so yeah, I expected it to be good. I mean, Will Smith smoked it in the last joint, so I mean, I don't think it's gonna be hard for him to tap into that character again. I want to see, you know, what Michael B. Jordan's role is gonna play. I want it to be just as nerve-wracking as the first one, because certain movies are hard to watch. I Am Legend is a tough watch.
Yeah, because it's
a really good film. It's a tough watch, and I think one of the reasons for me to watch a tough watch is that scene with the dog.
Yeah,
that scene with the dog is hard to watch. Like, oh man,
that was tough to watch.
Yeah, and how he reacts after that. So I wanted to be just like that. Like I wanted to be nerve wracking. I wanted to be emotional, just like the first film. You know, because it's hard doing things twice. But if you do a reboot, the least you can do is do it with the original actor.
Yes,
which they are doing. Correct. So,
and that's why I'm happy. That's why I'm happy about this sequel, because, like you just said, you get sequels that don't have the same dynamic, that don't have the same people in it.
You know, they're doing a white man can't jump people.
Yup, and I ain't, you know what I'm saying, I'm not feeling that. Love Jack Harlow, makes dope music, but I feel like we pushed the narrative too far with these sequels. But I Am Legend, bro, like you just said, being nerve-wracking, it came out in 2008, and just to see how much realism it has, and, you know, a lot of movies, if you look back on a lot of the movies, the cult classics that we name classics, it has a lot of realism. And then you fast forward to present day, man. It's like really what's going on. I want to see how they're going to implement the virus to COVID, because I feel like they're definitely going to add
virus.
COVID.
It was a cure for cancer.
Right, correct.
She gave a cure for cancer.
Right, correct.
And then that led to someone getting infected, which led to other. Because I think they used that same plot for The Last of Us. Yeah. Somebody had a cure for cancer, and the person gave that cure out to everybody, and they said we killed all these people, but those people broke out, which they infected more folks, which
became apocalypse, zombie, and that type of world. And it's, bro, like I always reference this movie back to like COVID, even though like you just said the premise was based on cancer. It was a different type of premise, and then you had to get like a inflammation shot or a certain type of shot. But it's just like, bro, when you look at it, and how they put the movie, it's like it's not far-fetched for something like that to happen, knowing where we're at today, you know. And also it's just like what realism has showed me is just like anything at any given second, bro, can be taken away. Because another point in the movie that made me really have anxiety and really like hurt my heart was when his family died. and how his family died, and how the helicopter went down, and then how he had to transition from being, from being a dad to being the last survivor on Earth, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? And then having your best friend as your dog right by your side, and he get infected. Bro, like you said,
protecting him. That was
a gut wrenching.
The scene where the dog runs into the building and he's got to run after her,
bro.
And he's at the light and he's like, that movie. That was a tough watch, yo. Tough watch.
That's tough, bro. And
I don't even like. I'm not immune. I'm immune to horror. That's not a horror. Like, it's different between like horror and like
real, bro.
Like nerve-wracking. Like, yo, like. It could get real at any point, yo. Like,
that's one of the most nerve-wracking.
Like, it's pitch black. The dog that ran in there, he got to go in there with the flashlight, looking like it's infected in that joint. Like,
and like you said, other than like, cause it's a horror. Like you just said, it's not a horror movie, but it's like the suspense of it.
Yeah, man.
But
exactly.
I ain't gonna lie. I Am Legend. That movie, that scene right there, is one of the most horrific scenes I've ever seen in a movie. The only other one I'll put over it is Insidious. Because it was a horror movie, Insidious give me like a cringe because I just feel like it's a lot of realism in that. In regards to like sleep paralysis and stuff like that.
Wait, Inception or Insidious?
No, Insidious.
I've never seen Insidious.
Yeah, Insidious, boy. But like that scene right there, when he was it was in the dark, pitch black, and you had to be dead silent.
And then he flashed the light, and there was a crowd all over the corner. It's like, yo! Because me and my dad was in the movie.
What was the Marley, get your ass over here. Get your ass over here, bro. Yeah, that movie, bro, different. I want to see how they going
I want to see what Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan. What they gonna do with Michael B. Jordan?
Stop playing with me. It's a shame when people get bigger than all of a sudden all of a sudden Kevin Hart's not funny.
Exactly.
All of a sudden Michael B. Jordan can't act. Like, y'all be hating, man.
I hating, and I was just about to say that. You made a great point. Man. As soon as a person gets to a certain plight, it's like, oh well, he would never be like this, or he's not a good actor, or he's not funny anymore, just because he's in a more mainstream place. I mean, it is what it is, bro. There's levels to this, and I feel like Michael B. Jordan is an amazing actor. He's been a great actor since he's been a kid, and one of the best performances in a movie is Fruitvale Station. If you haven't seen Fruitvale Station,
Killmonger, I like Killmonger.
And then it was a movie recently he had with Jamie Foxx. Oh my god. That movie's fire.
The joint with
I don't know why I can't think about it, but that movie's fire too.
The joint he's on death row.
Yeah,
his stock's going up. I mean, he did a movie. That movie had Brie Larson and Jamie Foxx. You're talking about 2 Academy Award winners. Mm-hmm. You know, he just did the joint Dear Jordan, directed by Denzel. Mm-hmm. You know, now he's doing something with Will Smith. So, you know, the stock is going up.
The stock going up, bro. And he's a good actor. And then also, what we had to stop doing, we do it too a lot. Let's be fair, but just comparing greats. You know what I'm saying? Or comparing good actors, or comparing anybody. Yeah. You feel me? Like let these people be good or be
like,
great.
Listen, man. Spoiler: The Batman is a good film, but if you go into it,
we talking about this next week,
thinking it's The Dark Knight, like stop. It's not The Dark Knight. It's not the same. It's not the same universe. It's not the same approach, and you can't compare those two movies.
You talking to me right now because I'm that person.
It's not The Dark Knight. You can't go in there thinking, okay, I'm gonna compare this to The Dark Knight. No.
Hugh, you're a Batman fan. Yeah. So what you were saying is totally right. I'm a Batman fan too, but you consume Batman more. That's your favorite superhero. So you understand the aspects of all the Batmans.
Yeah.
To the regular consumer. Yeah. Is what I would say. To the regular consumer, the heightened level of how Dark Knight was, that's the expectation we want. As consumers, regular consumers, the Batman fans, y'all understand the dynamic of what Batman is. So
I will say this. This it's not a spoiler, but I will say this. This movie focuses more on the detective side of Batman, which doesn't get highlighted in films as much. Like if you play any of the Arkham games, you're gonna love this film. Arkham games are great. And I think Batman, he's the world's greatest detective, so that side of him gets lost sometimes in film. Like they touch on it a little bit in The Dark Knight, and they give you, because they try to give you as many pieces of Batman as they can in each of those films. They do a good job, but this one focuses on his ability as a detective to solve cases, to see clues, to pick them up, and to find a trail, and to find a murderer. So that's the main focus. There's plenty of action and stuff like that, but that's the focus.
And to that point, like he just said, he's a real Batman fan. So I can't take nothing away from him. Yes. But like as the regular consumer watching Batman, in my mind that's Alfred's job. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's Alfred's job. Let him figure that out and you to the action. But I'm not gonna just think that way.
Yeah,
I gotta see that.
Batman is a detective. He's the world's greatest detective. I think people forget about that, and I think because there's nothing but good reviews. But for the bad reviews that have been from folks, they say like why is he just solving crimes and puzzles? I'm like, because he's a detective. Batman is a detective. I know you're not used to seeing that,
right?
If you don't watch enough Batman, but that's what he does. That's who Batman is. He doesn't just beat people up. He is a detective. He looks at clues. He's very smart. He knows how to analyze. Like, that's what he does. He's a detective.
So we're going.
We'll talk about it next week.
I'm trying to talk about it next week.
I'm gonna see it again. I've already seen it. I'm trying to
see it this weekend. I have to see it so we can break this down and review, man. So we're giving y'all 2 weeks. So that's a good time. This has been the first week, so I'm about to see it this weekend. Yeah. So, man, what's your favorite movie sequel? If I can give mine, it would be either Rush Hour or Friday. I know it might be, but come on now. I can never go wrong with Rush Hour. I'm gonna just be honest.
All the lines to like every Rush Hour.
I know
movie.
every
It might be Rush Hour.
It's either Rush Hour or Friday to me. I can name plenty more, but those two are my premises. And I would say probably at House Party because I'm those three.
I think, dang. Only because I watched it recently, I'm gonna go with The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, that's
because I'm a Batman fan.
See, that's a good one too.
And that was a really good.
But
man, Batman's so dope.
But you see what I'm saying though? Like, to that point, that's what I want, bro. But
I'll say this: it's on par with Batman Begins.
Okay.
He's setting up. You can tell they're setting up for a trilogy. So the same way Batman Begins is like the beginning, because it's like it's second year Batman.
Right. It goes.
It's like, second in this movie. He's in his second year as Batman. So this is beginning Batman. So going in with that mindset, because as a Batman fan, I had to walk back. I'm like, yo, I'm waiting for him to just be Batman, but like I'm like, he's not really all the way Batman yet. So it's on par with Batman Begins. I'll say that it's on par with that. But yeah, so Dark Knight Rises. I would say Toy Story 3, but then they made the fourth one.
We wildin'.
They made the fourth one, so it doesn't count.
But nah, it's still a great sequel.
I'm gonna go with Toy Story. They really should have. And Toy Story 3 was the best one to me. That joint was fire.
That's a great.
I don't know why they made a fourth one, and they wrote. I'm like, nah, Toy Story 3 was fire.
I forgot about the fourth.
Now they been, like that would be perfect ending. They got a new owner, and he goes to college. That'd be straight. Like that was awesome. Yeah, Toy Story 3.
So let us know what's your favorite sequel. What's your favorite movie sequel? All right.
I'm going with that.
Hey, that's.
I know it's not a sequel.
I said Rush Hour, Friday.
Rush Hour.
Said Dark Knight Rises and Toy Story.
Rush Hour 3 might be the funniest Rush Hour.
Yeah,
it might be the funniest.
My favorite is Rush Hour 2.
Yeah. It's rare you can say that about like you know what I'm saying. Rush Hour 3 might be the funniest.
With the part where he had went in there with the tall Asian man, he was had me crying.
The traffic scene, the scene at the hospital was funny. Like, Lee, there's no bullets in here. I'm trying to kill somebody, man.
Not who me? Who you?
What? I'm about to whoop you, like you everybody.
That joke funny. All right, we're moving forward, man. Question of the day, bro. Is education a right or is it a privilege?
I feel like education is a right, man. Everybody should have the right to be educated.
I feel like it's a right, too. I like was playing devil advocate the other day because I had asked this question to some peers. And I was leaning against being in a privilege, but I feel like it's a right. I feel like everybody has a right to their education.
Because what can really deny you from education?
Honestly.
Yeah, like,
I mean, but also you have what I was saying to the point of it could be a privilege in a way. It's just that depending on what situation you're in, because you have people who probably in second and third world countries who may look or come over here for opportunities. They may look at it as a privilege to have
because they don't have it.
They haven't been experienced or have it.
And there's the level of education.
Correct.
That you could be receiving as well. That's not always. That's not a right. I mean, that's not a right. That's a privilege as well. So yeah, but I do think it's a right. But you are right. Depending on the country you're in, it may not be a right. It might be a privilege. But at least as far as the U.S., I feel like everyone should have a right to education. At least like from lower all the way up to high school, you should have a right to education.
And honestly, I feel like if I'm being really honest, us as Americans have been very, very privileged because to the point I just said. You have and look here, everybody's not going to go to college, or everybody doesn't have the same, drive to continue on with school. Understandably, but you gotta notice that we have a a lot of advantages in the educational space. And honestly, I mean, you know, it's different from if you go to college and things of that nature. It's free from other places and stuff like that. But you gotta think about the level of education that is here, and we have access to. Hey man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing because to other
Big
people
facts.
it can be a privilege. For us, it's a right here.
Yeah, big facts, man.
So it's different ways to look at that. So we're moving forward, man. HBCUs, man, across the country receive more than $2.7 billion in funding as we speak about education, man. I feel like this is a huge thing, especially knowing that all these HBCUs, unfortunately, they have become older, and the upkeep of these HBCUs haven't been in the best place. You know, I hope a lot of these HBCUs just take advantage of this funding to put into the schools and support for, you know, honestly the school foundation in regards to the room and board, classes, books, the mold. It's a lot of things that have been happening at HBCUs because they grow up such age, but the upkeep is not matching where it's at today. You know what I'm saying? So I just pray, you know, that funding goes to that. And also, man, like, while we speak on this too, shout out to Deion Sanders.
Hey.
Shout out to Deion Sanders, man, because what he is doing at Jackson State can never just be overlooked.
Yeah, Deion go, man,
He's
right now.
really go. And honestly, prayers to Deion Sanders too, because if you didn't know, he actually has a YouTube series in which he's documenting his life, and he just really recently came out. This is one of the greatest athletes ever, to a lot of people. 2 of his toes were amputated. So, you know, just having an understanding of, like, this is one of the GOATs and greatest. But guess what? Everybody goes through trials and tribulations, man. We just keep him in our prayers, because what he's doing at HBCUs is monumental. He's bringing a very, very good light to HBCUs, not just in the sports space, but just in the space in general.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when have we ever, and now we bring it to sports, when have we ever seen, you know, D1 athletes, 5-star recruits, you know, voluntarily, you know, going to Jackson State and HBCU, man. So just the dynamic of everything is just changing, and it's beautiful to see. If we being real, it's beautiful to see, man. So that 2.7 billion, man. Hey, let's take advantage of the space, man. Let's take advantage of the space. Shout out to the HBCUs, bro. All right, man. One gotta go, y'all. Which one are you gonna choose to go? Like Mike, Spy Kids, DrumLine, or Big Momma House? Which is another good seat.
For me, it's between Spy Kids and DrumLine. I haven't seen Spy Kids in years,
Bro.
so I'm trying to remember in my head. I remember the scene where they like bike away the little thing and turned to McDonald's.
Spy Kids was fire.
It was really fire. All 3 of them were fire.
Like Mike ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, like Mike's not going anywhere. Neither is Big Momma House.
Big Momma House can't go nowhere.
It's between Spy Kids and DrumLine. Honestly, I can live without DrumLine, because Nick Cannon did other things. Nick Cannon, like, I prefer to watch Love Don't Cost a Thing. If that was on this list, I'd pick Spy Kids without question.
Okay.
Because Stealing $1 Million was looking way too fire in that joint, and that movie was good. But yeah, I'm gonna go with DrumLine. It's a good movie, but I think I can live without it as far as this list is concerned. I haven't watched Spy Kids in years, though, so maybe I have to do that.
That's tough. That's tough. I still haven't made a choice, but I'm gonna say, and I watched this repeated, I'm gonna say Spy Kids, because DrumLine is a monumental cultural movie. And honestly, I just gained knowledge on this, but Dallas Austin, who used to who is a major producer and manager, executive producer for TLC. We can go to many acts. That movie was based on him. So
really?
Yeah, so it has a lot of history. Some things that people don't even know about that. Like Mike cannot be replaced, bruh. Like Mike can't be replaced. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. I'm gonna say it on my podcast. I'm tired of y'all disrespecting Bow Wow. I'm gonna be real. Bow Wow, you could call him corny. He does certain things, but disrespecting his legacy is just like, you know what I'm saying?
Legend, man.
Why?
Bow Wow's a legend. Well, because he did some corny stuff.
He does do corny stuff. I can't take away.
I'll admit, corny stuff can sometimes make people forget that you're a legend. Like Soulja Boy. Like sometimes when Soulja Boy does certain things, we be forgetting that. Like, you did all this stuff. But yeah, Bow Wow's a legend.
But in hindsight, people can call him personally that. But people be disrespecting his music. Yeah, like, come on, bro. You can't do that. It's not a lot of artists that can ever say that they was in this game and from 5 to 6 selling out arenas.
Yeah, Bow Wow's a legend, man.
Like Mike, one of my greatest favorite movies. Then you go to Big Mama House. That's somebody else, man. DMV, DC's very own Martin Lawrence, bro.
Yeah,
Martin
Big Mama House not going nowhere.
Needs his flowers.
Yeah, that's not going nowhere.
Martin needs his flowers, bro.
That was like, you could just see the influence of Eddie Murphy in there, just playing a different character and stuff like that. Yeah, man, Big Mama House not going nowhere. Like,
and that's a conversation we need to have soon. Who did the playing the most characters the best? I know Eddie Murphy is the pioneer of it. I understand. Well, was it Richard? No, it was Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy. But you have different, you have your Martins. Because
I'm a vote for Tyler Perry. His character became iconic.
I'm about to say you got Tyler Perry, you have Eddie Murphy, you have
built
Martin.
an empire off that one character.
I mean that's fair enough too. Because I agree with that too. I'm not the biggest Tyler Perry fan, but I love Medea. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah,
so I can't say that.
Legend. I know people may not be feeling it today, but like we're not gonna forget. I remember multiple years, the plays, the movies.
Right.
Yeah, Medea's a legend.
You can't.
That's my vote.
See that.
I know it was only the one. He did other characters in the movie. I mean, in the Medea joints as well, like Joe. But Medea by herself is so iconic. Like it's like hard.
And one person who did it the best, like we just spoke to Martin, bro. Because when you look back at Martin, the show, bro, and how many characters he played, you look back on that, bro. Dragonfly Jones, Shanae. What other character? Jerome now. Son. Nah, Martin legend, bro. So I'm gonna take away Spy Kids on this one, bro. I can't get rid of no DrumLine.
Speaking of comedy, Chris Rock and Kevin Hart are going on tour.
Oh, for real, that's dope.
Yeah, but it's in like the New Jersey area.
It's
like a few shows.
Shout out to them. All right, man. Lastly, the infamous. All right, would you rather lose an hour or gain an hour? Lose an hour or gain an hour?
If I gain an hour, doesn't that mean I get to sleep more?
If you gain an hour, you get to sleep more, but daylight saving, it gets darker earlier. You lose an hour. The sun stay out longer. I'm gonna say lose an hour.
I'm gonna gain an hour.
I hate you coming back home at 4 or 5 o'clock and it's pitch black and make you think it's 9 o'clock and it gets you exhausted already. I cannot, bro. Honestly, and then for real, me in general, I don't get enough sleep as is. I need to get more sleep, but that one losing an hour wouldn't hurt me at all.
I'm gonna gain an hour just because I can get to sleep in more. That's really. I mean, I don't mind the dark. Like, in my house, I prefer it dark in my room. I hate when the lights are on in the morning because I'd rather my eyes adjust naturally rather than turn on the light and blind myself. Like when I get my own place, it's gonna be dark. Like
as a kid, you wasn't scared of the dark.
Nope, not one bit. My sister was though.
As a kid,
nope. I think part of it because I was a Batman fan and he always did everything in the dark. So
I don't mess with the dark.
I'm completely fine. I prefer to be in the dark. When I'm in school, when I'm in the class by myself, lights be off. So I'm fine. I don't mind it.
I don't mess with the dark.
So yeah, I'm a gain an hour. The only issue is that like if you have a dog, they like these things mess dogs up because dogs are creatures of habit, and so. If you get up at 7 every day, a dog will learn that about you. They'll wake you up at 7.
Right.
But then when daylight savings comes and you lose that and you gain an hour, they don't understand that you now have. It's not 7 at the time, but in their head they have the clock in their head. It's now 6 o'clock. They're waking you up at 6 because they think it's 7.
That's true.
But it's not 7, and so that's the only issue. It's like your dog is still going to wake you up earlier than you're supposed to because he thinks it's 7 even though it's not.
And when you lose an hour, I feel like just with daylight saving and being more light, I feel like just me personally, like every time I look up, I have more of the day. Like I don't see it coming to an end so soon and so fast. I love during the summer and spring where it's like 7, 8 o'clock and the sun is just You know what I'm saying? I love that, man. Hey, look here. I'm ready for spring. I don't know what's going on here. We know we from the DMV area. I don't know what's going on here. It was like 70 degrees the other day. And then it got to like what today, like 30, 40.
Next week is gonna be in the
we don't know what to expect, man. Make sure y'all bundle up, man. This pneumonia weather until after March. Then we outside. We outside after March, man. Get that sun. As you already know, the Faison View podcast, man. Faison View podcast, man. I plan on having some special guests chop it up with me and Hugh very soon, man. But make sure you stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, man. One love, man. Much love, man. Make sure y'all tap in every Thursday, 5 p.m.